Welcome to Speedy Walkthroughs, where we show just the important stuff for beating the game. For first time viewers, this will look different to a normal walkthrough. It shows just the essentials, so you don't need to spend a long time watching this video. And today we're playing Megaman 4 for the NES. Before we get stuck into it, if you like this video, consider subscribing to keep up to date. Helps out the channel a whole bunch, and there should be a new walkthrough out each week. Alright, so before we start, this game, it's not too difficult to figure out where to go. But different bosses have different weaknesses based on this table here. So I'm going to show you a path through the game, which makes it a lot easier to get through the game than just going in blindly. Now I'll talk about a few strategies along the way to make things easier. So we start out the game brought to this screen here. First level I'm going to select is Bright Man, just on the right there. Alright, so we'll start out in the level. You've got your Mega Man controls, left and right with the D-pad runs. You can jump with the A button and shoot with the B button. You can also slide along the ground by pressing down and B. Goes a little bit faster than running, so I really like it. And sometimes you actually need to use slide to like dodge enemy projectiles or like slide under tunnels or things like that. So we're going to keep going up this left ladder here in the level. One other thing I'll mention is we will unlock weapons as we go. And with those weapons, you just select them with the pause menu. Alright, got to slide under that little bit there. And then we'll work our way across here. And we're into the boss arena. Now we don't have any weapons yet, so we just have to use our normal shot against this boss. You can charge up your normal shot, so just hold down the B button and you'll see Mega Man goes different colors depending how charged it is. And that's going to help you deal more damage to the boss. The boss is invincible for a little while after you hit him, so it's worth doing those charge shots rather than just doing a whole bunch of B presses. Once we're done the level, we get the flash stopper there and a password. Alright, so heading into the level on the left, that's Pharaoh Man. So watch out for the quicksand, that'll suck you down. You can use your charge shot to deal with some of these enemies here. And keep progressing forward. And we're going to drop down into this little bit. Any of those blue E-tanks that you collect, you can use those from the pause menu to restore health. And now we're in the boss area. So before you go into the boss, press start to pause the game. We're going to swap to Bright, that weapon on the left, and that's going to be super effective against Pharaoh Man. So basically it'll freeze Pharaoh Man. You can keep using it as well, and then you just want to get up and do a bunch of shots there. And pretty much the fight will be free. You will win it. Alright, once we've done that, we're going to get a weapon upgrade and a password. Okay, moving to the top left, Ring Man. So these platforms will sort of go away as you step on them, so just watch out for that. And we get this, so you just take care of the platform underneath him. As he comes down, you've got to hit him while the platform's down, then it'll go back up. Okay, with this thing, you just got to wait till it explodes and then hit the eyes on the inside. Same thing here, the platform comes down, so just deal damage as it comes down. And we want to go up across these bits. Again, these platforms will disappear from the right to the left, so watch out for that. Same thing here, you can use your charge shot to deal with this guy. I'm also going to use the flash stopper to sort of freeze the rings out, and that'll make it a bit easier to hit. Okay, so coming in towards the fight with Ringman. I'm going to swap to Pharaoh there, and Pharaoh is super effective. You do want to charge that up with the B button over your head. And there we go. Alright, so upon beating this, get another weapon upgrade and a password. I'm going to select the level on the bottom right, that's Dust Man. Alright, and in the level here. So watch out for these guys, they'll shoot at you when they open up their heads. And platforms will appear in this level, so just go across the platforms as they come up the ladder. You want to use your slide here a little bit and basically just shoot out the blocks. Make sure you got a really good path before you go through so you don't get crushed. And up this little bit here. and into the boss. Alright, so into the boss fight, we're actually going to swap to Ring here, and you're going to use Ring against Dustman. Sometimes Dustman is invincible, so just watch out for that, but keep ringing and you'll get it. Alright, with that we're going to get another weapon upgrade and a password. I'm heading up to the top, just to that top right level Skullman. Alright, heading to the right here. And I climb up to this little top section. There's an energy tank down there if you want it. I'm not going to bother. And we're into the boss area. So with this one, we're going to use Dustman as our super effective weapon. And that fight's done. Alright, so we're going to get a weapon and a password. Heading up to the level on the top, that's Dive Man. Okay, watch out for the water. That's going to be like lower gravity in the water, so your jumps will go higher. You take care of this whale with your charge shots. And up the ladder. Alright, we'll drop down through this little bit here. And another whale to take care of. Again, just use your charge shots if you want. And we're into the boss arena. Okay, so we're going to use Skull weapon against this guy. Just keep jumping up and using Skull when you land back down. Alright, we get a weapon and a password. We're going to head down to Drill Man. Alright, heading up these ladders here. Use your charge shot to take care of these guys. There's an energy tank up there. Alright, now you need to actually hit these switches on the wall to make your way through. And that'll spawn some platforms in for you. We're up to the boss. Now we want to swap to Dive in the pause menu. And with Dive, you can fire those at him. And there we go. Okay, so we get an upgrade and a password. We're also going to get the Rush Jet, so that's a little upgrade you can use to make platforms. One level left, Toadman. Sorry, not make platforms, but like fly across the level. Keep going through here, watch out for the water currents and everything. This snail's only vulnerable with its eyes open, so you gotta time your shots for that. Alright, into the boss. So we're gonna go Drill, and Drill's gonna be super effective there. We also get the Rush Marine adapter. This is gonna be good for like underwater sections. Now we got sort of the Dr. Wily equivalent stages here. So we're gonna play these ones in order. So first stage here, just head across to the right. Don't bother trying to attack those things, just sort of jump over them. And up these ladders here. I'm going to go R Coil, so that's like a little high jump ability thing that we can use. And then I'm going to use R Jet. You can control the jet with your D-pad as you're flying, so I just flew like up a little bit from there. And now we got our first sort of boss for this section. So swapping to Ring in the pause menu, and then we're going to use that on the boss. There we go. Alrighty, into the second stage here. Just climbing up the right ladder there and sliding on through. Going to use R Jet to get across this gap. and get the power-ups. So all of your ammunition carries across the stages here, so you don't get refills each stage. When you touch an ammo refill, it'll refill the weapon you've got selected. So if you have one that's low, you should select that before hitting the ammo refill. So just before we go into the boss area, we've got dust here. Just select to that, and we'll go into the boss arena. And now this is a bit funky. You've got to jump on the inside of it and then use dust on the very top. Do that a couple times, just try not to get squished. There we go, and dust on the top. And that's the boss. All right, into the next stage here. So it starts off as a bit of an auto scroller, so work your way through that. Now you can see me there just swapping to whatever ammunition was low before I got the refill. I'm going to use Rush Jet to get up across these things. And ride these platforms, just a bit more of an auto scroller through this bit. And we ride that one down, and we're into the boss arena. Alright, so this boss is a bit funky. You got to use charge shots to deal with it when it's on the roof, and if it goes on the ground here, you just wait for it to come back up and sort of attack it as it comes across. Alright, next level. Alright, drop down here. There's some ammo refills there if you want. So you're going to use arc oil to jump here. Going to go across to drill through that bit of wall. Get an energy tank if you want. And drill will take care of those enemies up there as well. So just through this little section here. And we're into the boss. Okay, so boss will spawn in here. And I'm actually just going to swap up to the normal weapon here, M-Buster, and use some charge shots to take care of it. Alright, so we get a little cutscene here. And it turns out the villain's actually Dr. Wily. Who would have thought? So we actually get a Wily Castle as well that we got to go through. So we'll do that. Use the R jet to get through that. That'll skip the block puzzle if you want. And you can skip the second block puzzle using R jet as well. Alright, into the boss arena. And you get this guy. So again, I'm just going to use my normal shot here, like a big charge shot. Because you got to wait so long in between hits, you got time to charge it up. Alright, next up, slide through that second to top one. Drop down here, avoiding the spikes. And slide through the gap. We got R-Jet to get up across. And up the right hand side. Just back to normal M-Buster for this bit. You can climb up that ladder here. R-Coil will get you up the right ladder and then just slide through. Take care of that guy. And same thing there. And we're into the boss. So just down to ring in the pause menu. And you want to jump up onto the platforms and hit it with that ring ability. Just on that green dot. Alright, we get our next stage here. So heaps of upgrades there, like ammo restores and all that. So drop down through this bit. We're basically getting straight into the boss, and it's going to be the boss rush. There we go. So top left here, these are the same weaknesses as before, but I'll just point out what you use. So for that first one, you use dive. And then when he comes up, you can just hit him with dive. Once you've beaten the boss, come out into the middle one on the left there. Alright, we're using Toad for this one. So Toad will start like a rainstorm, and that'll deal with him. Alright, coming out of here into the bottom left. So we got Skullman now. I'm going to go all the way down to Dust and use that. Keep going around anti-clockwise, so into this one now. Alright, once you're in this fight, just want to head up to Skull. Now Skull will put little skulls around you, so you got to try and hit him with those skulls. Just one more to the right, and we're into this boss. Okay, so down to Drill. Into the boss on the bottom right now. You got Dustman. Alright, so going down to Ring there. So remember, he is invincible while he's trying to suck you in, so just wait till he stops doing that before you try and land hits. Next, we're going to go up to that middle one on the right. And we're going to have Ringman. Go to Pharaoh. Remember, you can charge this one up, so wait till it's charged up a little bit before you fire off your shot. Alright, once you've done that, just go up to the very top right there. Got this last one, which is Pharaoh. And we're going to go to Bright and freeze him, and then just keep shooting at him. And eventually be able to deal with him, probably before you run out of ammo. Go into that top middle one, and that brings us through to this fight here. Alrighty. So you're going to head down to Ring. And just try and hit the mouth with the ring there. If you run out, just go back to your normal shot here. And you can use some charge shots to do pretty much the same thing. Staying underneath, it's fairly safe. Heading across to R coil here, I'm going to jump up. And then I'm going to swap to Drill there. And hit him with the Drill. And then sort of repeat that process. So up with R coil. Swap to Drill. Hit him with the Drill. And repeat. Bit of a funny way to beat the boss, but it is what it is. You can't jump high enough to hit him otherwise. Anyway, once you beat him, you're going to unlock yet another level. So we'll go into that. So here we go after the start. Just drop down this little bit here and off to the right. Watch out for the things coming in from the roof. Any ammo upgrades they drop, you can swap to things you're low on. So I'm going to keep using Pharaoh because we do need Pharaoh for this. Alright, charge up Pharaoh. And if you're charging it up, you can sort of jump around the map. Now, you won't be able to see where he is, but if you keep jumping around, you might actually be able to find him just by happening to hit him with the Pharaoh shot. And that's usually the best way to deal with this boss there. Saves you just like firing shots blindly everywhere, and then you're not sure where he is. But the Pharaoh, you can pretty much cover the whole map looking for him. Alright, and once we've done that, we are finished. So we'll get this lovely cutscene at the end, and then the credits. It's going to be all for this video. Hope you found it useful, and thanks so much for watching.